All right. Shall we start, Kamal?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, friends. We are back to our weekly session, analyzing the week that has been and looking into the future and trying to analyze the week that will be expected to come in the forthcoming next week itself and markets thereafter. To start with, as we normally do, we will take up Dow Jones weekly chart. We'll look at NASDAQ weekly and daily chart, and we'll look at TSX weekly and daily charts, and then analyze a little bit of stocks as requested by our members, either on Zoom call or on WhatsApp or on YouTube. All calls are fairly welcome. All requests are fairly welcome. Right? First things first, let's look at Dow Jones. What you're seeing on screen just now is a weekly chart of Dow Jones. Now, it becomes very important to understand where the market closed in the week. Last week, the market moved between the body of the week prior to that, and the high and the low of the previous week could not be breached. So this was a typically movement, narrow movement within the range as decided in the previous week. We did not break the high, we did not break the low. So this is one space of consolidation in the broader market. It's very important to realize we are at a very critical level of the markets. 1,050 or 3,500, which if you see over here, has been a regular limit, a resistance for it to cross. So if it breaks 34,550 on a conclusive closing basis, you will immediately see a huge run up in the price on Dow Jones. Weekly targets 34,500, 34,550 if it breaks above that. Currently, 34,500 will act as a very strong resistance for the broader market. The previous week high was 34,270 and the low was 32,950. Current week, the low is 33,273, about 250 points, 300 points higher than the previous low. So a higher low has been formed in this week. But the current week high was 34,164, whereas the previous week high was 34,170. So you are talking about 100 points lower from the high. So the higher high has not been formed, a lower high has been formed, but a higher low has been formed. That is why it becomes a narrow trend ranging week, right? So that's the first thing. Second observation, super trend is still bullish on a weekly chart, but turned flattish, right? Your MACD is above the zero line, a crossover can happen. That is why I say if a crossover happens and it cracks open 34,500, it will give you a huge all-time high rally. This is nothing but CCI, a positive movement happening. Apart from the indicators, one thing important to note is you are taking support at the 8 moving average, the 20 and 34 are all in order, and 200 is below your super trend. So when 200 moving average is below your super trend, that super trend will definitely act as a strong base from which it will bounce back from. So even if it gives you correction, I'm not expecting one, but even if it gives you correction, expect a bounce back from there. At this point of time, 8 moving average will work as a support for the price on a weekly basis. Right? Number one. Number four, what's important to see when you're looking at Bollinger Bands to realize how your mid-Bollinger Band is climbing. Your mid-Bollinger Band is still climbing upwards, and your lower Bollinger Band has turned flattish, whereas your upper Bollinger Band is also climbing. So if the upper Bollinger Band is climbing, lower has turned flattish, mid Bollinger Band climbing, I am expecting an upward movement on the Dow Jones. Simple analysis is this. I am expecting an upward movement on Dow Jones. What I will like to do is I like to wait and watch 34,500 being giving me a breakout on a positive basis, on a closing and a conclusive basis with volume momentum coming in. If that happens, all-time high is round the corner. Clear? Now, this is a weekly chart. This is regular candles. Let's look at Heikin-Ashi candles on the same thing. On the Heikin-Ashi candles, if you look at the weekly chart, you realize you are seeing only doji Heikin-Ashi candles. And the body keeps reducing in size. The body is clearly reducing in size. And now you realize where are you getting your resistance? 34,200, 34,500, 34,550. Look at this movement of price for in the last, right from December first week to now, almost January, 2 months of movement within a very narrow range. When 2 months of movement in narrow range is happening, get ready for a breakout on any one side. Price is above the mid Bollinger Band, so the breakout can only happen upside, not downside. A downside breakout or breakout on the negative side is highly difficult. I don't say it's impossible, but highly difficult. Base support, currently, if you look at it, your base is at 33,000. So if you are taking a trade, that is your stop loss, 33,000 or 32,800. You could also look at this low of 32,573, but that's a far away chance. Even on a Heikin-Ashi candles, your 8 moving average is clearly giving it a support. So Heikin-Ashi is talking the same thing, candlesticks talking the same thing, weekly chart. Let's go back to the day chart. All 5 days of the market in, let's take this on the regular candlesticks instead of Heikin-Ashi. All 6 days, that means all 5 days were green candles, all going up. All candles going up. You have your white marching soldiers, all in line to go up. look at the moving average on the day chart in the MACD, crossing over above the zero line, going above. Look at CCI climbing upwards. Price is getting ready to cross this place. 34,300 first target, 34,550 second target. If this gets taken out now, that means previous week high will be taken out in this week. My expectations, I expect this high of 34,342 or 350 to be breached and a breakout given by Wednesday late evening, latest. By Wednesday late evening, latest. Clear? Now these were candlestick patterns.
Sajid, before we change to another pattern, question here: the last candle that we have, has a good long wick at the top. So, do you see this as maybe an intermittent profit booking, or do you see this that likely this is becoming a gravestone doji and might trigger a downtrend?
It may not give you a downtrend trigger immediately. It is basically profit booking happening for the last 6 days.
Okay.
Number one, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, your MACD is still above the zero line. And when you're talking about a downtrend about to start, exactly at the week high, at 34,350, the selling pressure will be even more higher. So you may see a dip around this. This price may get touched on Tuesday afternoon, bring it down, and again rally.
Okay.
So there will be some respect of the weekly high. And this is not current week, but the previous week high. So they will respect it by giving you a selling pressure here at 34,350 or 34,300, give you a stress on the market, a bearish tone to bring it down by 100 points or so or 50 points, and then rally back upwards.
Okay.
That is what I am expecting it to happen. So when you're trading at the edge, yes, my first profit booking can be at 34,300, 34,340. If I close at 34,380 at around 330 or 315, it shows me 34,380, 34,400. I can start looking at taking a long in the market because it is closing at the high end of the day. So if the market closes at the high end of the day, the next day should normally be a green day. It will be a continuation trend. As I always keep telling everybody, the closing is important. So at 330, 340, you realize you're closing near the end of the high point of the day, you can always take a stock for with a bullish view next day. And if it closes above 33 or 34, 550, definitely an all-time high is around the corner. Right, Gaurav?
Right, sir.
All right. Now, these were regular candles. Let's look at Hekenashi, since now Yahoo is giving us this in the beta version. Similar structure, again going up. Day candles. Closing, if not at the high, but close to the high. You're about 150 points or 175 points away from the high of the day. But that is the week. This was the week closing. On the week, you're closing towards the high end of the week. At 33,978 or 33,980, 34,000, you are just striking distance to the high of the previous week, which is 34,300 or 34,350. Week day charts, crossovers again very clearly there. Okay. Though 8 moving average is coming down, but it will bounce back and take it up further. In the Heikin candles and the day chart, even the lower Bollinger Band is starting to climb up. The lower Bollinger Band is definitely climbing up. 200-day is far below the lower Bollinger Band. Your 34, 20, and 8 are very close to each other. So expect a breakout. If this breaks out, this will suddenly spike out. Clear? Now, along with Dow Jones, look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ weekly chart. Bearish super trend about to get breached. So if this super trend levels get breached at 11,870 or 850 plus, this trend will now become bullish on the weekly chart. And as we have been talking about it for the last 4 weeks, NASDAQ was weaker as compared to the Dow Jones, and it's trying to catch up with the broader market. Now, on the weekly chart, the indicators, clear crossover happened over here in just 3 histograms. CCI at 127, climbing steadily. Stochastic at 57, waiting for a breakout to go up to 90. Now, do you realize why NASDAQ is going to go higher up? If NASDAQ goes up, automatically Dow Jones will aid NASDAQ in climbing further. So it will start working in collaboration or in conjunction with each other. Regular candles. Heikin, I'm purposely giving you both this so that you how we are going to be changing our differences. 8 moving average taking support on the weekly chart. 20 above it, 34 and 200 above it. Clear? Even in Heikin, he gives you a crossover. Day charts. See the climb? And it climbs us actually from here. From 6th of January onwards, the climb has started off. This was just a period of consolidation where the 34 moving average was holding the price. 34 and 20 were holding the price. And 8 also holding the price. Currently, you are closing above the 200-day moving average. Your MACD does not talk about any crossover, negative crossover about to happen. Super trend, climbing flat, again climbing. So NASDAQ is now looking stronger and trying to catch up on Dow Jones. So with that happening, the rub-off effect on Dow Jones is going to be very clear. This will get broken at 34,500. That is why I said by Wednesday evening, I'm expecting a breakout to happen. Wednesday late afternoon, the breakout should happen. So you're talking about another play of about 450 or 550 points within the next 3 days on Dow Jones. Clear? NASDAQ done. Let's look at the.
So just before we switch over, NASDAQ may, I think when I was looking at the charts, there was close to 11,800, 11,820 is where the next super trend resistance is. I think
11,500, 12,000. Daily chart or weekly chart?
Weekly.
$11,860.
I had 11,820. I think because maybe that's a configuration difference. But essentially, the question is that given at the current levels, there's still a 200-point runway for a move.
Yes.
Before we hit this resistance, and probably Nasdaq has to decide whether it wants to go above or below. So
Yes.
I mean, for any trades that we are planning, we can look at least this week for a likelihood of this 150 to 200 points worth of a move, right?
Yes. You can. Now, if you look at the weekly chart, look at the open and high and low of this last week. Opened at 11,200. It gave you a close at the high was 11,700. That means a 500-point movement.
Right.
Can I do a 500-point movement on 11,600? That gives you a figure of 12,100.
Right.
What is the price you're looking at? Super trend level 11,800. First target, second target 12,150.
Right. Fair enough.
So the weekly movement can take place. It could be a spike. I'm not saying no, but the point is, why am I expecting that to break? At this point of time, what I would do is, even if I take a trade today at 11,620, my first target is going to be the first super trend 11,870, 870 or 850, and about 100, 200 points, 230 points.
Okay.
Why am I saying that? Easily achievable, because my indicators are all clearly talking bullish. So that is why 11,850 first target. What could I do? I take three positions, sell at least one, and track the other two. Trail the other two. Second target, very clearly, 12,150. That is almost 500 points on the current spot. 500 points on the current spot, I would easily be getting about 5% plus.
Right.
Time to book my profits anyway.
Right. It makes sense.
And if you want to go further, instead of taking weekly, I can take it monthly. Now, on the monthly chart, where is my super trend level?
14,600.
And low is far away.
Right.
Monthly chart, we are currently at near the high of the month. And monthly crossover is just about to happen. So that means this target of 14,500 is clearly expected. It can be seen as a horizon. And if this crossover happens, this can take place. Not immediately, but far away.
Across, so probably across maybe 2 to 3 months.
Even more.
Even more. Okay.
Even more.
So can you take to daily chart?
I'll shift to daily chart, but just let me complete this just now. Now, when I'm saying even more, why am I saying that? Currently, we are at 11,600. I'm expecting 14,500. Why am I saying that? Even more. Your rates will start tapering in the next 3 to 4 months.
Right.
Or 5 months. So today you are already in January. You're finishing January. So give it, that means by July, your rates will start tapering down. Now, look at the political environment around that time. You're talking about July, August. What is with the stock markets? So possibly I would look at it October or September, this figure should be touched.
Okay. Fair enough.
September, October, this figure should get touched. Right? Now, as Kamal required a chart or weekly chart?
It's a daily chart.
Daily chart on that. Yeah.
So we have Fed meeting on 31st and 1st, which is Tuesday and Wednesday. So we should be expecting volatility. And
21st.
31st and 1st, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
So
you should be expecting volatility because of the Fed meeting. I'm not saying no for that. At the same time, you are just breaking out above the 200-day moving average on nasdaq.
Yes. So what I was saying is that with the Fed meeting, although we have broken this level of the EMI, is this 200 EMI?
200 is over here.
Yeah.
The black one.
So with the Fed meeting, we should be booking our profits and then wait for the sell-off to happen and then re-enter at the EMI, which is your 100 EMI, sir, the purple color.
No, this is the 8 EMA at purple, 34 at and 20 below. There is no 100 marked on this.
So the purple 8
Purple
EMA.
is 8. Purple is 8 EMA.
So we can book our profits and then plan to re-enter at the 8 EMA level.
Yes, that is exactly, if what Kamal is pointing out is exactly what I had sentenced it or told you a few minutes earlier. I'm expecting that bump up with the volatility coming in, that spike and that touching of that level is expected. Give you a correction, come down and again move up. Because the market is now very clearly already factoring in 25 basis points. Already factored. So if 25 comes in, it comes as no surprise to the market. If 50 comes in, it will give you a very bad correction. It will give you a dip, settle it down, and then buy back again. But I am very hopeful that dip will be a buying opportunity.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That dip will be a buying opportunity. So you got to be very alert when the Fed meet comes up. That dip will be a buying opportunity, primarily because you look at this climb happening right from end of December, 28th of December onwards, this climb happened. Very clearly, it climbed, it consolidated, climbed, consolidated, climbed. So now, consolidation or slight dip in consolidation and again climb. That's the route it's going to take all through and through. And NASDAQ, as you know, yes. Somebody was saying something. All right. NASDAQ, as you know, is trying to catch up on the broader markets of Dow Jones. And Dow Jones is definitely bullish. This is what is going to happen on Dow Jones. 34,350 touches by Monday, Tuesday, as I was telling you, take a dip and again climb further. But 34,350 and 34,500 will get broken out. Even from here on Dow Jones at 34,350, you're talking about another 300 points of 350 points movement upward. So you should trade on that levels only. Right? Any questions before we move to TSX?
think we can go ahead.
Good. All right. So TSX weekly chart. Again, 4 white soldiers. Weekly chart. Super trend bullish and climbing weekly chart. 8 moving average. Very strong support. Weekly chart. Crossover happened on the positive MACD and climbing. Look at that crossover happened over here. So it moved to the cross 18,000 and has already climbed last 4 about 12 volume. CCI climbing, currently flat but ready for a next round. Stochastic at 82, you can go up to 98 comfortably. So there is a lot of leeway available for all indicators to climb. Your MACD has given you no chance of talking about reversals so far. No chance. So very clear indication, market is expected to go up. The Fed meeting will have an effect on TSX also. I am expecting the Fed to be not bearish, but give you a positive signals. Even if they give you a rate hike of 0.25 basis point, they will still be bullish in view of the future activity. That will get a rub off on TSX on a weekly chart. Look at weekly chart Heikin-Ashi candles. And the super trend has just turned bullish. On the regular candles, it is already bullish. Super trend is already bullish. On the weekly chart, it has just turned bullish. And turned bullish with a big body candle. Now you realize the difference between a Heikin-Ashi and a regular candle chart. Now, so this is clearly going to be looking at a target of 21,000 first target. Currently at 20,700. First target 21. Right? After that, all-time high at 22,200. But this is the first target. Second target could be something around here, 21,600 or 700, and then 22,200. Weekly chart. Convert this to a day chart on Heikin-Ashi. Look at the smooth run. 8 moving average giving you a very strong support. Your 20, 34 and your super trend on Heikin-Ashi candles clearly climbing. Clearly climbing. Pretty strong on Heikin-Ashi candles. Right? On candlesticks, the candle on Thursday, kind of a dragonfly or a hammer, but climbing. This one, again, exhausting, closing towards the high end of the day or high end of the week. Friday was closing towards the high end of the week. Next targets, 21,000, around the corner. Around the corner. Indications clearly. MACD far above the zero line, very much in place. CCI 118, ready to climb further. It can go up to 240. Right? And stochastic can maintain itself at 97 for quite some time. 97, 98 for quite some time. So uptrend definitely on. On the Heikin-Ashi candles, exactly the same. Super trend also climbing, all clear. So my suggestion is, or my observation is, markets are in a consolidating phase. They are at critical levels of giving you a good breakout. Have that meetings happening use that correction as a buying opportunity and then climb up further. But I am definitely expecting a breakout on the positive side on the Dow and on the Nasdaq. And the rub-off effect will happen on TSX also. Right? So with that, we have finished all the indices to be analyzed. We will now shift it over to stocks. We have Tesla, we have Fate, Shop, and LSET.
There's also K. Yes. There's also K, Kellogg.
Also K, yeah, Kellogg's. All right, so let me first knock off these, close these tabs. All right, first we have darling of the stocks, Tesla. First things first, weekly chart. Started climbing, steadily gave you a big body jump, changed the super trend from bearish to bullish. So that's the first thing. The trend has just turned and crossover has happened only over here. MACD crossover happened here. CCI is at just 9. So a positive thing. Stochastic at 19. So yes, a trend reversal has happened on a weekly chart. What to expect? First target can be 250 or earlier targets 200, 225 and then 250. Thereafter, straight target will be 290, 300 or it could be 275 also. But these are weekly charts. Let's watch the day chart. Now, in the day chart, you realize it's just one bump up given you over here. Last Friday was a bump up given.
So it had earnings based on its earnings.
That was 3, 4. You see this consolidation? Move up for 4 hours of consolidation, hardly any price movement, but price closing at the top end of the top. This is the top. That means, if you ask me personally, this was operator driven chart. Somebody knew internally what is going to happen on the results. The earnings were informed or were made aware of. Selective made awareness. Otherwise, it cannot move like this. And when did this earnings be shared? This earnings was shared somewhere around here. 20th of January. See the price movement. 24th and 25th. Very strong range consolidation. And then gap up and then again moving up. Now, what we saw on the hourly chart, the last 4 hours, again, I'll show it to you. It's important to understand what is happening over here. People are booking profits earlier. Bought recently, short-term profits being taken out. Right? 1 hourly chart clearly gives you that intimation. 1 hourly chart clearly talks to you of this selling pressure happening over here. The histograms turning red and a negative crossover was just prevented. And look at CCI climbing down. So, yes, consolidation happening here, selling pressure coming in, but is that going to affect the price? I would guess no. I would guess no. Why? Retailers will now walk in. Tesla is a favorite of the retailers. They will take the price up all the way till 200. First target 200, then 225, and then 250. So that's Tesla for you. What's important to realize is squeeze, expansion, squeeze, lower expansion, going up, and now again expanding upward. For us, my first target is going to be 232 or 233, which is the 200-day moving average on a day chart. And I'll keep my stop losses at my 8 moving average as my stop loss. That's Tesla for you. Any questions?
I'll just add my bit. So I would wait for Tesla to be sold off when the Fed meeting happens or sometime this week as the entry time for getting into it. As that gap up that has happened, that gap up would get filled and would be good opportunity to enter.
There are this gap. He's talking about this gap. 143 to 160. Am I right, Kamal?
Yes, sir. So I'm looking at the your EMA purple line. Yeah, that is the
146. That's the gap. That's exactly the same gap which is expecting that gap to get filled. That is why we always tell you, everybody learn to trade on the edge. The edge will be, can sell this at 225, which is the high over here, day high on 1st of December. At 200, you can sell it first. The entire month of January, he has not been able to cross the high of December. So that will be the first selling zone for you at 200. So with the earnings already in, it giving you a bump up, your first target will be liquidate a position at 200 or 197. 194, 197. Take your profits out. Anybody who entered at this level of 118, 110, 105, when we'll be talking about good entry prices, you will very much in good profits of about $100 at 193. You're in good profits. Almost 1:1 risk reward. If not, oh, sorry, for every rupee, every dollar that you invested, you are getting a dollar back. So you're getting about 2 times your value. Almost. At 101, 102, 110, if I'm getting 190, I'm getting an $80 profit, which is a very good profit margins. So I would always book, wait for a correction, and then come back. My next buying level will be around 145. So this gap will come for filling. It will be retested, and that will be the way it will bounce back from. But as of right now, I expect this to continue because it's not yet turned flattish. So I expect it to definitely a chance that possibly I can buy it at 40. Clear? All right. Next, we can look at K, which is Kellogg's. Weekly chart, clearly bearish. 2 Marubazu candles, super trend turning bullish, bearish. You are now on a doji candle at the entire week. Indicators, no chance of reversal on MACD. Stochastic at 25 can go up to single digits also. Weekly chart. Sorry, let's look at the, one second. In the weekly chart, it can touch 65 from here or even go to this level of 60, 61. Highly possible. Day chart. When you called it doji, this is the reason why you called it doji. It is testing the lows of 67 regularly. 67.14, 67 has been tested on multiple occasions. 66.68, 66.78, 66.98. So 66.50, 66.70, 66.80 has been tested and held, not broken yet. Somebody wants to take a short trade. In case a bounce back happens, your first short trade is till 69.70. Because the super trend on a day chart has turned flattish, 200 at the highest point, then 34, then super trend, then 20, then at 8, and price is below 8. If price is below 8 or 8 acting like a resistance, expect this to fall further down. Downward targets are very clearly 61, clearly seen on the weekly chart. Right? Any questions, or shall I take the next one? Fate is what we have been requested for. Fate is what? Pharma based. Any news expected in Fate? Kamal, because you asked for Fate.
Not that I am aware.
This is requested on the YouTube.
One of the members.
All right. All right. Now, on Fate, if you look at the current price, 5.92, you are already lower than 2020. You are now in 2023. And you are lower than 2020, 2019. One second. This is 5.92. So let us see where 5.92 is seen over here. Way back 2018. So February 18, you are lower than that rate. Jan, you are as low as December 2017. Why do you want to enter this stock? This is the first thing I'll ask you. If the price, if you are at 2017 prices, to December 2017 prices, why do you wish to even enter the stock? I don't see any effort or anything in this stock which talks about a reversal yet. Clearly, fall, consolidate, fall, consolidate, fall, consolidate, fall, again fall. I will not look at this buying at all. This is a weekly chart. I'm not even looking at buying it. Even the 2017, it did not give you that. It's down to that lower level. All this was around the COVID times. The spike up happened because COVID. Every pharma company moved up. But after that, you're back to normal. And now you're back to business. So unless there is an internal trading, internal information, I will not like to touch the stock at this point of time. Why are you trying to catch a falling knife is my only statement that I can put forward to you. I wish the person who requested would have been on call to have answered these questions. So I'm moving to the next one, LCID. Now, this you can make out a difference. See the difference here. It's a recent listing. October, 2020, September 2020. It listed at 975 and currently at 13 or 1287. It's given you one spike up, brought you down. Second spike up, brought you down, steadily down. And now given you a clear breakout. Now given you a clear breakout on a weekly chart. And in 1 week's breakout, what has he done? He has covered up all the losses in this week, right from October 30th onwards. That price, not even October 30th, he is covered up and reached almost this levels. August, from mid-August, all the fall has been covered in just 1 week. So there must have been news in this, which is why otherwise it would never have done it. And the news can clearly be seen over here. The day breakout, support and breaks, and this confirmatory message. Huge volume. Huge volume. So on the Lucid, targets 20. Currently at 13. Look for a target of 20. This has already been achieved. 18. 1825 has already been achieved. Oh, not yet done. So 1850, 20, and then higher up 25. But I want to understand what happened. Why was this spike? There must have been some news on LCID.
Sir, I am reading an article that says that there's some Saudi public investment funds that are investing into it. And there's a Saudi public investment fund which controls 62% stake in the company. This is as of Jan 27th. And there was a new rumor that the Saudis are looking to invest more in this company. I think it is into EVs or something like that.
All right. In that case, this is basically a news-driven event.
Yeah, rather rumor-driven event.
It's a rumor or a news-driven event that there is Saudi money coming into the picture. So if you say that way, there's Saudi money coming into the picture, I can understand that, because look at the spike up, look at the spike up, look at the fall, and again the spike up. So anybody trading news or rumor will take it with always a pinch of salt. It can go up. I'm not denying you that issue. It can go up, but how much up or how long, one would never know. Because such kind of a spikes are not seen frequently happening. Or this could only be a buying activity based on a rumor that Saudis are now are trying to enhance their stake in the company. So again, based on that news, this buying has happened. So all of a sudden, the buying went to 320 million, whereas the previous week, the buying was just 96 million. And the average buying is at approximately at about 70, 73 million. From 70 million, suddenly you go up to a situation of going to 320 million. You're actually talking about making 5 times your buying volume, and that too only on 1 or 2 days. But when you see the weekly chart to a day chart, you realize it is only for that 1 or 2 days. $207 million on just 1 day of the news trickling in on 27th of January. The previous day volume was just 26 million. That is what we mean by saying news-based or rumor-based. So who knows that this price has gone up? Because the Saudis have bought it. And very clearly, same day, the price went up, touched a high of 17.81 and gave you a closing of 12.87. It opened at 9, gave you close at around 13, but touched almost 18 and back down. Want to see it further? Till 11:30, there was no movement in price. 10:30, no movement in price. And suddenly volumes for. Look at this volume here. 27, 9:30 candle, volume is 4.8 million. 10:30 candle, volume is 3.5 million. 11:30 candle, volume is 11 million. Now suddenly the volume is jumping up, becoming 3 times 1 hour volume. People are getting alert, and that is when the price shoots. And now you're suddenly at 57 million. Clear? At 57 million, it's a green Marubazu is 15, it shoots up, selling pressure very clearly on top and brings it down. And then stabilizes it over. This is 1 hour chart to you. It happened. Look at this wide selling pressure. Look at the weekly chart for that. For so you're back to your resistance at 20. You will get selling pressure, bring it down. So rumor based, news based, I would avoid this for now till I don't get confirmatory or confirmatory signals that things have really changed for the good. Because this of 20 in just 2.5 years, it's come back to the same price of original listing. I will like to know what went wrong in the 2.5 years that the price touched 50 and came back to 9. And it is doing it regularly, very clearly. This happened sometime in about February. This also happened in the month of November. This happened February 21. This happened November 21. And after that, prices are falling down. This is a pump and dump scenario. You are pumping it up and you are dumping it down. That article is there to pump up the price and then the price. Clear? All right.
So since we have covered Tesla and Lucid, can you also take NEO, which is also EV?
It will be
not
NIO.
this one, NIO.
Sorry. Again, electric weekly chart. Where are you currently? At 1271. Where were you in July 2020? At 10 and 12. So for the last two years, you've done nothing but just come down. Whereas the market has moved up and up after that. Does that give you an answer? Weekly chart, super trend, clearly bearish, going down, flattening. So wait for it to come up to this level, correct, and come down. Resistance can be somewhere over here at 15 also. Why are we saying 15? You will get this as this super trend level is over here. 1440, 15. Next resistance, 1550. $17 and falling down. You are already at 2020 July levels. I don't see the future in this. I don't see any future in this. Shopify, I'm taking the Toronto Exchange. Weekly chart clearly turned up and now bullish. At a resistance level of 65. And then 80. Rising, good volume, rising volumes. Enter now? No. It should be around 46, 50. If that is the price enter. So which is why at 45.50, you can look to enter this price, enter the stock. Though CCI has come down to 143, it can always rise back up and take it to 200 and 200. Stochastic at 91 can go up to 98 and so it's like strong moving average mid and flat it could possibly go then a track of this band curve. This is how you will expect your Bollinger Bands to this and the flattening is moving future. If this
Wait, sir, can you hear us? We can see your
I can hear you.
We can see your video clearly, but your audio is breaking a lot. Is it on a different network? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now, Kamal?
Yeah, this is way better. Or
I don't know.
yeah, most likely.
If you can't hear me.
Now we can hear you better. So previously it was breaking a lot. Your audio was breaking, your video was coming properly.
All right, lovely.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right. Fine. So what I was talking to you guys about is that the upper Bollinger Band to this Bollinger Band and expected further because the mid Bollinger Band was climbing. If that would happen, this which will move up in some minutes.
Wait, sir, can you hear us? That's okay, sir. Can you hear? Can you hear us? We can't hear you, sir. Let's just give a few minutes to wait, sir. Okay. That's okay, sir. Maybe I can continue. Okay. So, all right.
Can you hear me, Kamal, now?
Yeah, it's way better. Do you want me to continue? That's okay. I can continue and you can add your analysis. Vivek, sir, can you hear us? Okay. So what Vivek sir was saying is that it has.
Yes, I can hear you.
We can hear you as well. Do you want to
Can you hear
complete
me?
what you are saying about the trend.
All right, just give me a minute then.
So meanwhile, I can continue. So
Sharing.
you want to share your screen?
No, take all right. So the intention, I mean, I have to see my own charts 1 second. I'll share my charts.
Okay.
If you can stop sharing, I'll share mine.
Yeah, it's just that your audio is breaking. Maybe I can share my screen and you can. Or let me stop sharing. Can you give a try again? I can take the rest of the analysis.
I'll just try it out. Can you see my chart? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just telling you guys that the price is expected to go up only, but this is Shopify. And it has actually now come consolidation after a long period of fall and consolidation. This was the consolidation which you were seeing all this time, and now coming out of it. And coming out of it with clean volumes. So all this time when we were discussing Shopify for so many months, I always used to say, let it break out of the consolidation. So we waited for the first break to happen over here at 51, and then we are waiting for the next break at 67. When it 67 breaks out, it will give you a clean consolidation going upwards. First target will be 91 here. First target 91, and then later on the higher targets will come. But as they come, it will take some time. It is coming out of a long consolidation. So you have to give it time, be it MACD, be it CCI, are very clean cut breakouts. And he is now breaking out in this week with volume. We saw it clearly breaking out with volume, and that can be seen on the day charts as well. Clear cut breakouts above the Bollinger Band. So I am now expecting on Shopify to break out. But as Kamal would always tell you, wait for a retest level of around 54, 55 to come back, buy again, and then enter the dip, then enter the rally. It will come down to 54, 55 levels again, buy it, and then enter the rally. Clear? Thank you, Kamal. Any questions? Now you can take it up with the balance of the analysis. I'm done because my network connectivity will go bad.
Sure. Okay. So as Vivek sir has already covered for Shopify, we can go on to the next stock. Lucid here has covered WCN on TSX. From the weekly trend, if we look at the indicators, CCI Williams have reversed. Stochastic blue line and yellow line are almost about to merge and reverse. It touched the lower Bollinger Band in the last week this week it has formed a green candle, which if you look at the daily chart, it had reversed and has started going down on in the last two sessions, and CCI has reversed. So if you are already on to it and you had entered around the support price around 170, 171, you could still hold for the resistance close to 180 near the upper Bollinger Band on daily chart. If you are on it for even further, even on the weekly chart, the mid Bollinger Band is close to 180. So 180, 182 could be your first target. Gaurav, are you already on this trade or you are looking to enter?
No, Kamal, I'm not in this. I will to enter this next week if I get some capital to invest.
Yeah. So if you are looking to enter with this on Dragonfly Doji, it could continue its upward trend, taking support at this EMI. Although EMA 5 touches the candle, but it could act as the support here and it could continue going up.
Okay.
So watch for it to enter sometime in the second half on Tuesday. After, although this is a Canadian stock, I saw that it was also listed on NYSE. So,
okay.
The Fed meeting would have volatility in the US
Right.
markets, and that would impact this.
Fair enough.
How long are you planning to be on this trade?
Well, if I get into this one, Kamal, I would be looking at least probably around 3 to 4 weeks. Maybe, try and touch 186 or 192.
Yeah, if you're looking for a few weeks, then your target around this mid Bollinger Band of 182 is possible, which acted as support around 185, acted as resistance here, which could act as resistance again.
Right.
So super trend on the weekly chart is even super trend and upper Bollinger Band on daily chart is coinciding. So that also is very close to the mid Bollinger Band level on weekly chart. 181, 182 looks to be a very good target. Even if you plan to enter tomorrow sometime, better to wait for Tuesday. And
yeah,
then
that makes sense.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next. Gaurav, are you okay with this?
Yep. Good. It's good.
So let's move on to next stock, which Gaurav usually follows. And on the daily chart, it has had a strong reversal. Let's start from the weekly chart. Yeah, based on the candles that we saw on the daily chart, a long wick here on the weekly chart, the volume was quite high.
Right. So essentially, Kamal, the trade on this one is based mostly on the day chart. So, if you look at the day chart, I think it was Wednesday, we had a big gap down. That was when the results were out below expectation results. And then it started, recovering. The next day was engulfing bullish engulfing and followed the trend. So I am in this one already at 58, and I am looking for the gap closure. Apart from that, if you look on the day chart, I think the past 2 or 3 weeks, it actually makes an ascending triangle. So that sort of adds to the bullishness as well and gives confidence of the closure of that gap very quickly.
Yeah. So in terms of the reversal, it is very clear that after the dip on earnings, the market has had bullishness with this bullish engulfing candle, and then further bullish trend on the Friday session. So you have had a good entry at $58, and you can definitely hold for your small profit booking at this gap closure at 61.8,
Right.
and then remaining you can hold for selling at your next target of 63 at the super trend level, 63 to 63.4.
Yep.
So that could be your second target. And if you want to still hold probably about 10% of your positions for the upper Bollinger Band level, would be 63.9 could be the third target.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yep. That is.
I think the targets on the day chart looks good for your entry. Right? Since you are entered at 58, even if you exit major of your positions at $63, you will have $5 per share, depending upon how many quantity you have. So 5% is almost like slightly less than 10% return. $5 is almost like 10%. Okay, so are you good with this?
Yep.
Awesome. So next is try.
Next is MU.
Okay.
Again, NASDAQ.
Okay. So MU has had a good almost 5 weeks of uptrend.
Yeah, it has a double bottom already. So yeah, and I think it's making use of the NASDAQ rally, and it's a good candidate to tag along. I am if I get chance from my other trades, I'd like to enter this one because it has some good setups. The MACD looks sound. The 10 EMA is ready to cross the 200, so that's a strong signal. And you know, the 34 and the mid Bollinger, they've just crossed the 100, so it's giving some good strong signals. The Bollinger bands are looking upwards. So yeah, I'm just looking to create some funds to get into this trade.
So I would say if you would have already in on this trade, it was good to hold since it has reversed the super trend level trend. On the entry, if you are looking to enter, especially on this stock, because it has had this almost 5 weeks of uptrend already. If you look at the CCI levels, Williams R is -5, which is very close to 0.
Right.
And CCI 151 is in the overbought region. So if you are looking to enter, you can let it to face resistance, let it correct, and then you can plan to enter. So that way you will, in my view, you should be waiting for about a week or two to take an entry when this super trend flattens out and your mid Bollinger band would align with super trend that and act as support for your entry.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so it's in good uptrend. So if you are planning to enter this for medium to long term, it could be good. It had previous high close to 97. It is currently at 63.9. If you enter around this level of close to 60, you are still getting almost or more than 50%.
Right.
You're planning to hold this for medium to long.
Okay.
Although based on your trading style, you prefer short-term trades. But yeah, if you're considering this for holding for medium term, it could give you about 50%.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, so keep this in your watch list, not essentially to enter immediately.
Mhm.
Correction would be good entry for this.
Fair enough.
Vivek sir, if you have anything to add, please feel free to add. Hopefully, we will be able to hear you. Can you hear us? Can we continue further?
Yep. Next is TRI on NYSE.
Yeah. Okay, so this is already also listed on TSX.
Mm-hmm.
Had
Again, this
started
one
its
has had,
uptrend.
right. It has had a cup and handle kind of a formation, not perfect though, but still a cup and handle, and as well as the handle also becomes a ascending triangle. So once it has a day closing above that 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 resistance of not sure if I called it out, about close to 119. If it closes above 119 on a daily basis, on a day basis, I think that's where I'd like to enter this one for a upswing.
Yeah, and I was saying that it has been forming higher highs,
Right.
so that way you can expect it to reach this level of 121 soon. And what is its all-time high? 52-week high is.
I think 122 or something.
It's getting closer to that level. On the weekly trend, it is now kind of consolidating or sort of taking resistance here,
Yes.
right, at this level. So the volumes are slightly low because it is at the resistance level. So are you planning to enter around the lower Bollinger Band level?
So I'll take a momentum trade on this one, Kamal. If it has a day close above 119, is when I would enter it for about a $2 to $3 run, and then I'm out of it.
Okay. Yeah, so it could, for initial few days of the week, it could go down a bit.
Yep.
Potentially could take support around this level, if not
Yeah, I'll probably look at
around
keep tracking this and look at
150.
it around the Fed meeting. So if because the Fed meet, it might give me an entry before that, but the Fed meeting guide might trigger a stop loss as well.
Yes.
So just being
So
cautious.
that's why after the Fed meeting or after 2 p.m. on Tuesday would be good time to enter.
Right.
2 to 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday could be good time to enter. So you can enter around 117, like it has been touching that price. Low here was 116.5, again 116.6. So you can plan to enter around 117 and then take it for around 120 or 121, because it would try to reach this all-time high as the resistance.
Right.
Since it has been forming higher highs. The upper Bollinger Band here is, although it is 123, you can expect it to face resistance near this all-time.
Okay.
So could be good quick trade if you get entry near the low on the either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
Quick trade for 2 to 3.
Yep. That's it for me.
So buy around 118 for about $2 profit, $2 to $3.
Yep.
Are we good to move to next stock?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
FFN. FFN Nitya has traded, made some good profits shared just before the start of this call. He traded around the end of the year, has good returns.
Yeah, during the Christmas week, where it was close to 4.3.
So
Yeah, somewhere over there.
would have entered around this and it has good move. Currently, it is closer to the super trend level, which could act as the resistance, 5.8. CCI Williams are still has some upward movement. It had reached 6.25. So if the volume is good on the weekly pattern, then it could break this super trend level and go further up close to $6 as well. So Nitya, are you currently on this or you are planning to re-enter?
I just exited yesterday at 5.62.
Okay.
Yeah, because my target was like I bought it at 5.42. My target was just if you go to daily one and you will see the super trend. So it was close to 5.67, 5.64 or 5.67. The resistance, the next resistance.
The upper Bollinger Band.
Yes. No, I mean no. Do you see this candle? 5 or 6 candle previous candles.
Yeah, on the weekly chart we have this super trend at 5.8.
Yeah, so the weekly chart is good, but I guess I was following the daily chart, and if you see the last resistance, what was at 5.67.
I think he's referring to the previous high of 5.66.
Yeah, 5.67 on the previous high.
On 18th Jan.
On 18th.
Yeah, you see, yeah, over that one.
So here the high was 5.66.
Yeah, so that was my target, but then I exited a little bit early, just just to keep a little bit cap.
Yeah. So that's good. So your exit is almost close to your target that you are expecting. So
yeah, so I did
that's
like 3
good.
times, and all the 3 times, like I did the same. I mean, I played in the similar way. I exited close to what my target was. Well, I am expecting this one again to go up and reach to 5.8 as per the weekly chart.
Yeah.
Right, and even maybe close to 5.9 or 6. But then, yeah, just for the safety and playing safe, I exited the entire portfolio for this.
Yeah, that's fine. So if you have got the profit that you are looking for from the trade, so that's fine. Even if it continues a little further up, you can have it in your watch list, wait for it to correct and then re-enter. As of now, you are right that on the weekly chart, the super trend is at 5.8, which if it breaks, it could go up to 6. And
Yeah.
then once it faces strong resistance at that level, comes down, then you could re-enter.
But
At
Kamal,
this
just
point, the re-entry would be good around this $5 looks to be a support. You
okay.
take this as strong as the level where it had this around $5. This super trend level 4.8
Yeah.
could be a good entry price once it takes correction.
Okay. Just
And
one question, Kamal. So right now it is sitting at 5.64, and I'm expecting it. Let's say, for example, somewhere if you do a 4 hour chart, somewhere I believe by the end of Tuesday or the first half of Wednesday, it's gonna reach to 5.8. So is it worth it to take a small quick trade?
I would say the profit margin doesn't give much. Rather, you can wait for it to drop at around 5.2, see whether it takes support there, and then con continue it further. If you are looking to enter for a very quick trade, if you are planning to enter at the start of market tomorrow,
Yeah.
let's see on the 1 hour chart. So even on the 1 hour chart, see it has been facing resistance at this level.
Right.
So it should correct, and a good buy price would be around this super trend of 5.53 or 5.5.
Even could be at a mid Bollinger Band as well, right?
It could, but, usually you will notice that at least week comes and touches the super trend level.
Okay.
So there's not much difference if you notice, just 0.04 difference between the super trend and the mid Bollinger Band.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yep. Perfect. So I will keep an
You were
eye
looking on
Monday morning, like how it is opening.
you mentioned you were looking on the 4 hour chart. That as well has formed a very narrow band on the 4 hour.
Yeah.
Lower Bollinger Band 5.4. Yeah, I would suggest to, if you're looking to buy for a very quick trade, buy around 5.45, 5.5 with a stop loss, so that you don't lose if it goes the other way around. And your stop loss, you're entering at 5 point. Let's go on to the daily chart. Low here was 5.3. So if you are entering at, let's say 5.55, 20 cents stop loss at 5.35.
Okay. I think 20 cents for this one is like more than enough.
Yeah. Since you are looking at profit of about 40 cents, if you enter at 5.55 and target around 5.95 or 6, so that's a good risk to reward ratio.
Yeah. Okay. So with a stop loss, I think it's worth it to take this risk, right? Because that are the high chances where it can clearly touch 5.8 or 5.9 in coming week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks it can touch 5.8, and if it goes above that level, 6 could also be possible.
Okay,
So,
great.
if you are willing to take that quick trade, enter with a close stop loss.
Sure. Perfect. Thank you very much, Kamal.
Problem. Take TQQ. Are you good with FFN?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Like, just for a quick trade, like if I want to go, I think what could be the best, buy price.
Yeah. So can enter at around 5.55.
Yeah, perfect.
So Vivek sir has already covered NASDAQ, and I'll quickly touch EQQ. So like Vivek sir mentioned, it has reversed and could have uptrend further.
It has already reached to our target price 224, almost 24 yesterday.
Yes. So in fact, I had kept my target at 23.94. Yesterday's high was 23.82. So,
yeah, Kamal, I was at 23.9.
Okay.
Well, I was also expecting 23.9 to 24. Right. So I kept my selling price over there, but then, since it started reversing so badly at the end of the day, so I thought let's clear it out and start again.
Yeah, so in last half an hour, I still had hope that it could touch, but then it decided to move down. Anyways, still have hope that it could go around 24 in the next session on Monday. So I'm still having the same target. And if we look at the super trend on the weekly chart, it is at 27. We had discussed 24 as the first target and 26 was the next target which Vivek sir had mentioned.
Yeah.
So if the Fed meeting, if the reaction after the Fed meeting is positive, 27, close to 27 would be the next target. Depending on how the market reacts, you can change the target. For those who would like to close your positions, and I'm one of those who was thinking to close my position at close to 24 and then see how the market reacts after the Fed meeting and then re-enter again. Even if it is re-entering at the price higher than this price, still it could be worth for the next target of 27. And depending upon the bullish sentiment, for those who are looking to hold even further, the next target would be close to 30.
Even the volumes has increased a lot. Like if you see in past couple of weeks, the bullish volume has increased comparatively a lot. And
especially since this week, the major tech companies have their earnings on 2nd of Feb. Which I have mentioned next. Amazon, Google, Apple all have earnings this week. We can expect this bullish trend to continue in the coming week. And if the sentiment on those earnings is positive, 27 reaching 27 would take no time. So the only thing that we have to watch is the Fed meeting that is on Tuesday. Wednesday would be very active day in terms of trading because we have earnings of these major companies. So for those who would like to enter, you can discuss the levels again. Watch for the dip on Tuesday. A buy price around 22. It's better to wait for around 3 o'clock to see how much is the dip. The volatility usually happens from 1 to 3 p.m. So entry around this 21 price would be even better for those who would like to hold for higher targets. If you are looking to make a quick trade, your first entry could be around 21.8. Although these levels were 22.33 and 21.6 were the lows on these days. If a major dip happens, this level could be a good entry price, the super trend level here at 20.11. The mid Bollinger Band and super trend could rise up to this level, which could be good entry price. At the moment, as you can look at the stochastic CCI and Williams R, all these indicators are in overbought region. So buying at the current price, if someone is looking to enter on Monday, would not be recommended as it's in the overbought. Wait for the dip, and you'll notice the indicators would cool off, and by around 20, the indicators, you would see that the levels of the indicators would have dropped as well. That could be good entry price for first target of 24, second 26, although the super trend level is at 27, conservative target of 26, and the next target of 30, although this level is at 32. You can check on the monthly chart at an interesting level at the resistance here, and it could again close at this level. January could end at this level with the major tech stocks earning at the start of the month. It could break this resistance and go further up. And I'm being bullish looking at stochastic, which is already in the oversold region, CCI and Williams R on the monthly chart. Vivek sir, would you like to add anything, or do you have different opinion? Vivek sir okay. Vivek sir has bad connectivity. So Nitya, do you want to enter this? Do you have any additional question, or?
No, I just exited yesterday at 23.6. I was expecting a target of 24, but it started reversing at the end of the day. So I thought, like, let me exit this one, and we'll re-enter again next week. So I'm thinking to enter at the same price as you mentioned,
Right.
or maybe at 22.
Yeah. On the 1 hour chart, 21.85, look at 4 hour chart. Again, previous support 20.3, lower Bollinger Band is at the same level.
Yeah.
On the daily chart, I think around the mid Bollinger Band price, when I expect it to come up to this level, which could act as the support. So close to 20 looks to be a good price at this moment. And we could also keep the order set in the system after second half of Tuesday. The dip happens and then your order.
Okay. I'll keep this in mind.
It could happen that after the Fed meeting, this resistance level could be easily breached. So even if you have not entered, entering after the Fed meeting at slightly higher price is still okay, looking at the higher target. Previously, we were referring at this level. That's why we had mentioned target of 26. Okay. Any more questions on TQQ?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
So I think there's some comment on shop. It doesn't look like US one. Can you use US chart? Okay. So we will go to US shop, which should be very similar, and then we'll come to SQQ. Just quickly, I'll show that the charts on TSX and NYSE doesn't differ much. Only difference is that on shop, because it's listed on NYSE, you could do pre-market and post-market trading as well. But in terms of trend and analysis, that remains the same. Just the price of the stock for the one which is listed on NYSE, you see in USD, and the one which is listed on TSX, you see in CAD. So this one is on TSX. We take shop on NYSE. The trend is not much a difference. As Vivek sir had pointed that it has broken this channel, which is good. So it would easily go on to the next level. Just watch for the correction, and then you can plan to enter if you're interested in entering either on NYSE or on TSX. Depends upon which trading platform you are using. If you are using Simple Trade, you can trade on TSX because you won't be paying commission. If you are using IBKR, you can trade on NYSE so that you can take advantage of the extra. Okay. Is that fine? Member who has joined with iPhone. If there are no further questions, we can go on to Vivek's request for SQQ. Since TQQ is in uptrend, SQQ is in downtrend, and as you can see, super trend as well as mid Bollinger Band are downward. And if the market sentiment is bullish, we can expect it to drop even further. So looking at the weekly chart, the super trend here is at 34.9. So if you would like to enter in TQQ, wait and see that it takes support at around 35. If you see market going bearish, then you can enter around 35. But at this point, market sentiment is important. So if you see after the Fed meeting and after the earnings, if the market sentiment is bullish, it would be better to trade on TQQ. If the market sentiment is bearish, SQQ is in the oversold region. SQQ would become more attractive. Right, Vivek?
Sure.
Great. Okay, so let's quickly take. Is there any other request? If there are no requests, we can quickly take the three major tech that have earnings this week. Apple has been on uptrend. it reversed trend about 4 weeks back, is in bullish trend. On the weekly chart, the super trend level is at 156.5, upper Bollinger Band close to that 157. So if you are holding it, you could hold it for these levels as your targets. Because we are looking on the weekly chart, so these targets could mean few weeks. However, earnings could also impact. And if earnings are good with the volume, it could touch those levels even faster. With the current price, and if you're looking just at the earnings, your immediate target could be 152. The 152.95 is the super trend level, and it's already in the overbought region. However, as we can expect, depending upon the volatility on the earnings, it's possible that it can touch this level. If you are looking to freshly enter, wait for the reaction of the Fed meeting on Tuesday. So the recommendation would be same as what we mentioned for the other stocks. The reaction on the Fed meeting could give an opportunity to buy at dip and then hold it for the time until the earnings are released. Then you can book your profit. If you are looking for the buy price for Apple, $138 looks to be a good buy price, about $8 dip. If it doesn't give that much dip, buy close to 141 could also be good for a target close to 155, 156. Here, if you are entering at around 141 for your target at the super trend or the upper Bollinger Band on weekly chart, which would be around $15 profit, you could have your stop loss under 134, which would be about $7 stop loss for a about $15 profit, so which gives a good risk to reward ratio. Any questions on Apple? And Apple's trend does impact TQQ. So for those who are trading in TQQ, could be all you could also trade on Apple, or at least watch Apple's trend. And so does the other major tech stocks, which we are going to discuss, Amazon and Google. Quickly cover both. And one thing in common you can see for these stocks is that they are in overbought region because of the trend that we saw in the last 3 sessions and the overall week. For Amazon, the target would be close to 109. At least on the weekly chart, it does show, the indicators does show that it has an upside still, even at the current price. Blue line is at 44. Williams R is at minus 47. With super trend at 109 and upper Bollinger Band 123. If you are planning to enter even at the current price, the targets are 109 or 120, which could be. For entry, if you are looking at a dip to enter, the support close to 98, or even if there's a correction, then buy around the mid Bollinger Band around close to 92.5 would be good price. Previously, it had taken support around that price. If it corrects, then that could be an entry price. But if you're looking only for the earnings play, then a dip close to 98.5, 98.5 or 99 for your first target of 109, just for the earnings play. If you are looking to enter and hold it for longer term, wait for it to correct and enter around mid Bollinger Band. Depending on earnings, if the earnings is positive, it might not drop to this level. However, if the earnings are not good, you could get an opportunity to enter at this level. So let's finish off with Google. Google again is in overbought region on the daily chart. Market trend is bullish. Being in overbought region, wait for the dip to happen, and once you enter at the dip, your targets could be 104 or 108 super trend. So still there is upside, at least on the weekly chart. For those who would like to enter, you could still get positive returns. Although they have had good upside here already, but entry even at the dip in the coming week could give you a good percentage return, close to $100 stock. Buy price for Google would be $95, or even the mid Bollinger Band level of 92 if it has a correction. For a dip, this could be the support around 97.5 could be your entry price. Okay. Any questions for either of these major tech stocks having earnings? Okay. There are no questions. Vivek sir has messaged that he has an issue with the connectivity. So Gaurav, any question?
No,
Aditya,
Kamal,
can you
I'm
hear
good.
me?
Hello?
I was asking Aditya, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I'm able to hear you. Sorry, sir, I was on mute. I was speaking on mute. I didn't realize it.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so with that, I think we would wrap it here.
Yeah.
And wish you all a good profitable week with the earnings week, we can expect more volatility, also knowing that there is Fed meeting. So we will hope you all would be able to make good entry and make some profit this week as we meet. And then we can meet next.
Good luck, everyone.
Thanks all. Thanks, Gaurav.